Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Hello, I'm Dal Bartling, and I certainly hope that you and yours are enjoying yourself a sunnier, warmer day. Well, you know, the older I am, the more that I think. And I think it begs the question, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Now, maybe so because you're saying, Dal, why are you in that Smokey Bear outfit? Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Well, there's more to it than that, but I'm glad that you're paying attention. At this very moment, children around the world are experiencing a rite of passage, a moment where their journey into adulthood is marked by challenge, guidance, and tradition. Whether it's the Maasai boy in Kenya beginning his warrior training, to a Navajo girl participating in Kandala ceremonies, or an Inuit boy way up north proving his survival skills. These cultures all around the world recognize something we often overlook: the power of intentional milestones. Yes, even in modern society, we do have milestones, though I think we often fail to recognize them as rites of passage. They truly are. Life itself kind of has a natural rhythm of firsts that mark our growth and transition from one stage to the other. A baby's first birthday, that one candle on that cake, and maybe the baby leans over and takes a big bite out of that cake. Early years, that baby's first tooth, their first steps, their first words, first time they use the toilet, their first haircut, that first tooth going to the tooth fairy. And then their world starts to expand, maybe through daycares, but the world starts to expand. Their community starts to expand into childhood. That first day of school, first parent-teacher conference, first team sport, first school bus ride. I can recall a school bus many times seeing where it didn't look like anyone was in there. They were all so small, you couldn't see their heads over the seats. Their first vacation Bible school, their first summer camp, and their first hobby that they really had interest in and loved. From that, they grew and grew. The wonder years, their teen years, their first job, their first buying their own clothes with their own money, first time behind the wheel. Maybe it's just parking the car, but that first time. On to their first learner's permit. And oh, how has it changed? Alyssa here in the state of South Dakota, her and her parents, in preparation for her learner's permit, then she had to then keep a supervised driving log. Yes. And in that log, look how detailed it is on how many minutes, and was it inclement weather? Was it nighttime? Was it daytime? What skill was practiced with the parent? Give us the number of minutes, give us the date, And then it had to be signed. Along with that was an affidavit that had to be done. And this is all by the Department of Public Safety. And boy, it looks pretty official there. There's her name and there's her parent scratch. I don't know if I could read that signature or not, but that's what it is. And it has in the driver examination signature and date. Now, I know you can't see this too good, but it's blank. You see, sometimes some of the first two is you do everything expected of you, and when you get there, it's not needed. You see, when Alyssa went to get her learner's permit, this was presented, of course. It had to be very, very detailed. And they felt really good that, hey, they had done that and logged all those hours. And the examiner says, oh, that's okay. We don't need that. You can just keep it. One of the firsts that we have. Then in the teen years, it could be maybe the first death of one of your grandparents. Moving on, your first driver's license. And that picture they take of you. That first car. Your first prom. Your first speeding ticket. On to your first accident. And to your first graduation. Rites of passage keeps on going through time. We get to young adulthood. First time leaving home for college. I don't think it's near as hard on the student as it is on the parents. First, not a family member roommate, and needing to share that space. First job interview. First paycheck, and you see how much they take out. First taxes that you file. First real important career choice that you make. First car that you buy. First insurance that you buy. Your first educational degree. And having that first new career job, your first vacation. From young adulthood on to adulthood. Well, I'm much more mature now. Your first marriage, your first house, first child, first promotion, first relocation, boxes upon boxes upon boxes. Your first YMCA that you join, your first coaching of your child's team, and the first house that you sell, your first bifocals, your first retirement, your first same age as you friend's funeral, first time you're called G-Papa, first time of signing up for Social Security and Medicare, and eventually the first time you walk into a room and you forget why. Each of these moments is a transition, a threshold that you cross. What if, instead of just letting them happen, we use them as opportunities to teach lessons, build character, and bring our communities together in support? Now, across cultures all over the world, that rites of passage seem to share 4 key elements, marking that moment with significance: ritual, community, the support and wisdom of others, big community. You heard the phrase, it takes a village. Lessons, teaching values and skills. Challenge, pushing the limits to make the moment meaningful when they conquered it. With those 4 elements, one of the reasons, the main reason I got my little outfit on here is of a hat that I wore years and years ago, a responsibility. It was involved with the scouting organization. And believe me, they knew and followed the credo of the rites of passage and those 4 key elements. Ritual, from when they joined Cub Scouting all the way to their Eagle ceremony. They had rituals called courts of honor, where then they made them significant for that young person. Community, the support and wisdom of others. Indeed, in the early stages, they called them Aquila. But together, that community would then nurture that young person with support and the wisdom that they maybe had in a particular area. So for one particular troop, there might be 4 or 5 leaders with their particular specialties. Lesson, teaching values and life skills. I can't tell you how many times that the one method used many times after an event, outdoor, indoor, whatever it might be, was to circle those young people around and ask the question, what were some roses and thorns with what we did today, or what you did today? Roses, what did you enjoy? What did you really like? How did it make you feel? Some thorns, what were some things that you would change? Roses and thorns. And then challenge. Indeed, from using a compass and reading a map to lighting a fire in the forest in a safe environment and only having 2 matches. And I was so privileged, folks, that I was involved with scouting in the east part of South Dakota, Sioux Falls, and here in Rapid City. And I, again, had the privilege of speaking at one of the highest levels of the scouting, that being the Eagle ceremony of that young man. It was said back in my time that 1 out of 100 boys that was going through scouting would reach that ultimate pinnacle, Eagle Scout. And again, I had the privilege of speaking to 25 of those young men in their passage of adulthood. Now imagine applying that 4 key element framework to modern life. A child's first bike ride isn't just about balance. It's about independence. A teen's first job isn't about earning money. It's about responsibility. A first speeding ticket may be a humbling lesson in consequences. Life naturally provides us with rites of passage. The question is, are we paying attention? Are you paying attention? Don't miss the opportunities. And remember this, don't miss the opportunities, because I'm rooting for you, because we're in this together as community. And blessed are they who ease the pain of misfortune, for they shall be called insurance agents. You take care. And remember, as Smokey says, only you can prevent